welcome everybody to a brand new episode of the Gotta Be Legend podcast. This is episode 3. Today's date, July 21st, 2009. I'm here with fellow legend himself, co-host SHIB. How's everything, man?
Things are great. We're not in 2009. We're actually 10 years in the future. We're in 2019.
Did I say 2019?
You said 2009. You totally said 2009.
I thought you said 2019.
You totally said 2009.
Oh, snap. I'm 10 years behind.
He's 10 years behind.
I'm John Titter. You ever heard of John Titter?
Of course.
I'm John Titter, yo.
barring being John Titter, right? Man, if it were 10 years ago, this podcast would be a lot different, man. We would be talking about any of these things. We'd be talking about MK, you know, the reboot, not MK11. If it were 2009.
Right? Yeah, all the news coming out from
all the news coming out from Mortal Kombat, you know?
For real.
But we're back. We have been... I think this is probably the first episode where we start talking about a lot of our stuff as a group, you know? This is probably where we stop talking about the news so much and start talking about what we do.
Well, yeah, so people can at least get to know us, what we do.
Yeah,
you know,
where we've been.
What we're, you know, are hoping to at least put forth, you know, with our effort, you know, what our intentions are, and, you know, what direction, you know, we see, you know, the page going, right? So, I mean, you know, speaking of that, I mean, we're almost to 500, right? 500 likes on Facebook. You know, thank you everyone for the support. You know, it's been a long journey, right? Obviously, for some, you know, 500 may not be a lot, but for us it is, and it's actually a stepping stone because, you know, with that, we're actually gonna go ahead and start a giveaway. We're going to have a giveaway once we hit 500, right?
Right.
What were we talking about doing?
We were talking about doing digital gift cards for major game platforms, Steam, PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Nintendo Switch eShop. We're interested in doing it at intervals of $60, $30, and $15. This is going to be real simple. Like I'm about to tell you, if you're a fan of us, if you're following us already, it's probably not going to be that difficult. So if you want to get the details, get in as soon as it is, get yourself a free game, right? Just go ahead and give us a follow on YouTube, go ahead and like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are, we're there. So go ahead and give us a follow. As soon as we have the details, we're going to post them. It's all going to be very straightforward. Win yourself a $60 gift card, a $30 gift card, or a $15 gift card for any platform that you have. Okay? Exactly,
yeah. So top 3, so... You know, most giveaways, you know, a lot of, you know, participants, they're shy because it's usually just one winner. We're doing 3, right? So, you know, we're going to be half of the 60, right? So half of 60 is 30, half of 30 is 15. You know, 60, as SHIB said, gets you a new game for the most part sometimes. Not really anymore.
Not really, yeah. Not the real game.
Yeah,
right?
Because of all the DLC and, you know, Legend Editions and all of that. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. I mean, how that's really affecting
how the DLC model's just changing the game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, so, you know, we're doing that. And then, you know, 30, right, for second place, which would be enough to get, you know, yourself
a DLC
pass, you know, a season pass or whatever. And then 15, you know,
get yourself something on sale.
Yeah, get yourself something on sale, or get yourself, you know, some gear pieces for a game you might be playing. You know, usually they'll go for what, $5, so you get yourself 3.
Get yourself some of those fancy cosmetics.
Yeah. You know, if that's what you like, you know, at least you have an opportunity to do it. So, you know, as SHIB said, man, just, you know, follow us on YouTube, or subscribe to YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Right, like the page on Facebook. Gotta Be Legend. Just look that up, man. Just look that up, and you know you'll see us there. You know, we also do a bunch of other stuff too, right?
Yep. You'll see as soon as we have the details out, you'll see them all over the place. We're not gonna stop, you know, letting you guys know, and of course all the other content that we do that we'll be able to talk about. And one of the things was that we went to a convention over the past weekend, Common 2019 over here in San Jose, Costa Rica. It's hosted at the National Stadium. It was done by the guys over at Imperio Anime. We're going to go ahead and link them. Super great guys. Super nice to have them there.
Yeah, we
every single year. Just to see. And I think it's really interesting for us to go and reflect on things, because one of the things that personally surprised me as somebody who's been there a long time, I've been going there for years.
I've never been there. This is my first time.
Exactly. So I go in with certain expectations, and I'm really glad to see the FGC turn out. We had MK11 locals, Dragon Ball FighterZ locals.
Yeah.
We had Smash Ultimate turn out. Lots of fighting game representation in a place that I don't necessarily see it a lot. Because I'll tell you from experience, the guys in charge of that event are generally pushing towards Overwatch, towards like battle royales. We had other companies on the set taking battle royales, Apex Legends, Fortnite, things like that. But it was really great to see the fighting game community out there, and we got to get to know the guys. We posted photos of what we saw, some videos. A couple of artists that we met along the way. We weren't there for that long. We were towards the tail end of the thing, but it was really the whole experience, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even though we got there, much after it started, right? Because of we both have to work, right? So I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact of the matter was that it was sort of what I expected. I just think that due to the size of the venue, it doesn't look as packed. But now that I think about it, it was. And there was a lot of I feel that those type of events now usually will cater more towards children, right? And young adults too. But I saw a lot of children. Especially in the gaming area.
But I think that's just because, you
parents
gotta think
are there
about
with
the bottom
kids,
line of these guys who have these setups, and the beauty of that is we got to hear about it. We talked to the TOs, the tournament organizers. I played with them a couple of niche fighting games. We played shout outs to anyone playing Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. It's kind of like out there. So I was talking to the guys, I was playing with them. They were telling me about the challenges, and they were telling me, these companies that go there to push a product by bringing game setups, what always ends up happening is, they bring games that appeal to kids, or they bring to appeal to crowds, or people who are not invested in fighting games.
Casuals, for the most part.
Right. So they were telling me, hey, but that wasn't really a problem with them. They brought Smash Ultimate, a game that even for its fighting appeal, always draws crowds.
That's cool, though,
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Kids deserve to play games, too, you know what I mean? So I'm not hating on that. It's just an observation,
And once again, the thing that I think proves kind of like the selling of Dragon Ball FighterZ was that the crowd is around that game. People love to see it, even if they don't know what's going on. Also. It's this visual flair. It's this interesting thing. You look at it, you get into it. The format's always been really great.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed playing it.
He had a really nice match with that guy.
Yeah, we had some footage up there, and the other thing they were telling me, they had Crash Team Racing was the other one that they had up there. They had a couple of local game studios showing up to try out games, to give them examples. So, I'm really happy to see those things. I really am. And I'm interested in seeing where they go. Hint, hint, where they go in the coming months, or going into the next event next year. Yeah. How they grow that scene, how they grow that initiative. Because the last thing I want to see is that kind of thing getting owned up by the companies, That's great.
Yeah, or getting swept under the rug, and then, losing its...
Losing its appeal, losing its place. Yeah. It's absolutely, it belongs to be in these convention settings.
Yes, absolutely. Anything that has to do with art and especially entertainment. When it comes to like cartoons, because they make video games about cartoon characters too, right? So, all those things are all relative, and it's a part of pop culture too, So when you talk of pop culture, then there's a lot of other elements. Like, you'll see now, for example, Keanu Reeves in the game again. You know what I'm saying? So
I see big things. Things are gaming is getting more mainstream and pop culture and stuff like that. And I think it's really important to grow convention scenes, not because like it's a tournament circuit, but because it brings people in, it gets you to make those connections that you wouldn't necessarily make. Because everybody, you always talk about the scenes, right? The arcade scene, where you have just these group of guys who play the game, but then outside of that circle, where do you go, right? And that's where these conventions show up, because people come from everywhere.
Exactly, and they may not, SHIB had mentioned to me, before we had gone that, he had seen people, put some stuff there, he wouldn't be surprised. And when I got there, I saw it, and I'm like, that's actually pretty cool that, there's people out there that are trying to do this also, to, bring it to the forefront so people can have that experience. I had never been to the convention before, and, I saw a lot of different art pieces, and, met some really cool people, and, it was nice to see that there. Even though it's at a smaller scale, the fact of the matter that there's people out there trying to get this done, or getting it done rather than trying, but doing it, pushes us to want to do that more so, and perhaps maybe one day work with them to expand this to a much greater level, to put it where it belongs in this day and age.
Absolutely.
So that'd be a wonderful thing for it to happen. So that's what we're here for. So if you're a part of that, if you want to see that too, you know, in your neighborhood, you know, this is what we want to do. So help us expand, and you know, you never know.
Let us know, right?
You know, help us expand, and you know, we'll put it on. We'll put you on. We put each other on. You know, and let's make this thing grow.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
that's
so
what this is all about.
So if you're involved in any locals, you're involved in any scenes, right? You want to make them grow, let us know. We'll put you out there. We'll get you the name. Speaking of conventions, big shout out to Minimum Pain, one of our legends, who is out at Defend the North today.
Well, let's shout out the dudes that were at this one.
Anioko, one of the artists. Douglas Mora. Shout out to him. He was super nice about giving us the shout out. So, you know, big shout outs to them. Yeah. Again, big shout out to Minimum Pain over in Defend the North up in New York for the MK Majors.
Shout out to Minimum.
And
shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody. I think we want to shout out to a lot of the stuff that we've been doing more lately, which is going to be sneaker content. So, you guys know that we've been investing a lot of time in our sneakers aside from gaming, right? Yeah. It's one of the things that we have like as a passion project.
Absolutely.
So we've been working with a lot of big names.
Yeah. You know, DJ Dells, you know, a YouTuber that's well known in the sneaker community. He's also known in the music industry. You know, I was able to get in touch with him, reach out to him, and you know, ask him if you know he would give us permission to go ahead and use his content, you know, on our site. And you know, he said it was cool as long as it, you know, gave him credit, and you know, we promised him it would. And that was great. That was a great boost for the page. You know, we definitely appreciate what he's done. Shout out to DJ Dells. You know, and that's what this is about, right? Due to where we're at, obviously, you know, it's not as easy to keep up with that type of art, I guess you could call it, right?
That supply chain, that line of news, you know, because these guys they're so specifically placed to where they can get these sneakers first, they can get the news out, they can get the reviews,
it's
the
not
unboxing.
As easy where we're at, right? I mean, if you heard, you know, SHIB before, we're in Costa Rica, right? So that market isn't as developed as it would be where it's from, you know, United States and everything. So, you know, it's just a lot easier for us to, you know, provide that information to our audience, right? So that's what we're all about, providing the best information to our audience from people that we trust, and you know, people that are as passionate about the topics we're talking about, you know, as they are, you know, and as we are. That's what this is about. So, you know, we were able to reach out to Dells, and, you know, we asked him because he's passionate about sneakers. I mean, his YouTube channel is called The Sneaker Addict. So if you're a sneaker addict, I don't know how much more passionate you could be. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? So that's the guy to talk to. If he's a sneaker addict and we want to go ahead and put information out to our crowd, to our audience, right? Providing them with the latest details. I mean, why would you not just talk to a sneaker addict, right? So
yeah,
you know, it just goes hand in hand, right? So
it really speaks to the motivations we have, especially like as a worldwide group. You know, everyone we work with is all over the place, and they're all different passions, and that's just about the only way we want it, honestly.
Yeah, we're content creators just like them. Some of us might be at a larger scale than others, but at the end of the day, you know, our plan is to go ahead and put things out there for people to see and to enjoy and to learn. Right, so hey, that's what Gotta Be Legend is. You know, we tackle the games, we'll tackle, you know, independent artists, we'll tackle art in terms of, you know, actual designs done, you know, by comic artists or cosplay, right?
Yep.
Sneakers, sports. You know, we just do what we do. You know, shout out to Junior. You know, he went ahead and you know, was in the last podcast, you know, and things like that. You know, he's a content creator himself, right? He has, you know, his work on those pages, right? On Belly Up, you know, and other websites that he works on, you know. So at the end of the day, you know, we just want to go ahead and, you know, collaborate with other content creators, give them a platform to, you know, reach an audience that they normally wouldn't.
Because we all enjoy those things as a group, I think. And
absolutely.
And that mesh is the mesh is really great.
Well, it's culture.
It's the culture.
It's culture. It's not the culture. It's a culture.
It's a culture.
It's culture,
it's
man.
A culture.
It's a culture.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing put together, and it's got its own place.
Like, you'll hear a lot of people say, "Oh, for the culture," but it's not the culture. It's culture. It's a culture, you know. And the thing is, that culture is now transcended because of media. That, I mean, it's everyone's now.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's the beauty of it, you know. And there's probably content creators, you know, somewhere in, you know, India or anywhere else, you know, in Russia or, you know, I don't know,
Anywhere you want. Name a place on the map, right? And that's so relevant to us, especially as we see things around the world. Especially now that the things that we cover basically come from around the world.
Exactly. You know, it's global. You know, that's why our logo is that globe, man. Gotta be like just global, man. It's global, man. You know, once you're part of that community, you're part of it. You know, and it's global. We everywhere.
Of things that went around the globe. Speaking of things that went around the globe.
What went around the globe?
You know what went around the globe? Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, that was bad.
So, yeah, I just want to... If anyone's seen that blurry camera showing the Avengers game... So for context, I just want to say...
We'll provide the link. We'll
provide the link. But I want to show I want to see the context. Just quick rundown. This thing was supposed to be shown at closed doors behind San Diego Comic-Con. Okay, right. What do you think happens? Somebody records it, somebody puts it on YouTube. Of course they do, right? Mm-hmm. And it was supposed to be shown at Gamescom in August, which I think is so short-sighted because it's like 3-week period of San Diego Comic-Con going into Gamescom, which is so strange to me. But it happened, and now it's everywhere, and now we see it, whether they want it or not. And I was originally very skeptical, and I still am, of what we're looking at. Because they don't seem to have the confidence to show past the first, I guess, introduction stage. There's such a lack of confidence in this product, or just a lack of understanding the people they're advertising to, right? Because one thing is if you show a movie, you show the trailers, and you show all the fight scenes, right? And then there's like a more interesting plot, but you need to show the fight scenes. But this game is showing these in-game cinematics, this on-rails gameplay. That was the word you were describing.
It is on rails.
It's all like one cinematic after the other, and it doesn't have the pull of a movie because those movies come out, you know.
The game looks boring as fuck.
It does look boring. it really troubles me in the face of Team Ninja's Ultimate Alliance 3 looking like a fun game.
That game looks dope. Remember we were talking about that? Yeah, I said that it looked like Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, it has that Marvel vs. Capcom style that everyone loves. The cel-shaded style. I mean, but that's the thing. That's a game with self-confidence. There's no hiding what that game is. You know?
Yeah, we've seen it before.
I've
always liked Ultimate Alliance games.
Yeah, like you could play people remember Ultimate Alliance on the PS2, and then but the game itself doesn't advertise itself on any other merit than just being a game that you can play, not like a cinematic experience.
Yeah, they're just banking off the fact that what is this? The last phase of Marvel movies, all that ended.
Like the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, so they're just banking on that, right? Because you're not gonna see Iron Man on the screen anymore.
That's such a strange, but it's such a strange take because I know it wasn't in that clip, but I know that Taskmaster shows up in this thing, and Taskmaster is going to be showing up in the Black Widow movie. He's probably not going to be the same Taskmaster. He's definitely not the same Taskmaster from Marvel vs. Capcom, where he's got a skull face. And it's these things just don't synergize, which is really strange because Marvel's a huge brand. That's what they should care about. But I don't know. I'm very interested in seeing this game actually come out and buy it in a place you can buy it. That's what I want to see.
That shit's gonna be whack.
I want to see it come out in a store and see somebody buy it and see somebody play it.
That shit gonna be like Anthem.
It really does
with Marvel effects.
It really does.
It looks just like it, man.
Yeah. Because what was the thing about Anthem? Yeah. Anthem showed us the first stage because it wasn't even ready. It was an E3 demo.
Yeah.
And it was only the first stage. Because that's all they had. So I was like, oh my god, is this what's happening? You want to think things can't go that bad for Crystal Dynamics, especially Square Enix, who've been, on the ball with their game production. But what if it did, right? What if it did?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think the game looks pretty boring, at least what I saw. But it's hard to judge the game. I mean, it's supposed to be how many hours? You know what I'm saying? So
it's supposed to be this long.
Yeah, and we only saw 5 minutes. I mean, so it's hard to judge. It's hard to judge,
but that's what I want to see. I want to see this game come out on the street, buy it. I want to see them actually sell this thing. I feel like no amount of gameplay footage is really going to sell us.
I'm not really convinced. It might have to be an experience kind of game. It kind of reminded me of Uncharted, but just shittier.
Yeah, it's just not like any other.
You know what I'm saying? It reminded me of Uncharted a little bit, though. But the way the game takes you, right? It's a cinematic, drops you in, you play, you do what you do, and then it soaks. And the cinematic sucks you up. It plays, drops you in, and then so on and so forth, right? So
yeah, and I mean, a lot of people, I think, defend the game because of the fact that the combat designers did God of War, the most recent God of War. But I just don't see that. I just don't think that on itself was going to make an interesting experience.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that.
I'm not sold on that being as relevant as people say it is.
Yeah, no.
Because every time people tell me it's like made by the God of War crew who moved to Crystal Dynamics, I'm like, I don't care. I don't think that means it. I don't think that means as much as they think it does.
No, it shouldn't.
It really shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
But you know what looks good?
Each game is different.
Each game is different. But you know what looks good?
What?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So, 2v2 gunfight. Everyone's seen it. It's got like millions of views on YouTube.
I like it a lot. It looks cool.
It looks good.
It looks good.
It has some interesting weapons. It has some interesting design choices. I'm not sure if 2v2 is for me. Not because I'm scared of it, but because it just I am so. You know,
I think it's a good option.
It's a good option, but yeah. I'm so
you can't center it around
like
it,
no. I'm so baked into like 6v6 AVA, you know, fast-paced gameplay that you know, nostalgia trip for me on the original, you know, 360 and PS3 era of those games, right? But it looks interesting. Everything looks like a Counter-Strike game for some reason, but with like you mentioned the gunplay of Battlefield. Yeah. You mentioned like it has like the new the lens flare and the zoom effects and the reloads
and the way he carries the gun and you know the physics when he's running and you know it just the way he aims down sights it looks so much to me like Battlefield, right? And I definitely like the hit detection that I was seeing. Right?
Yeah, I still hope it's tight. I would say that clean. I would say that Call of Duty's always been a little tighter for me than Battlefield. I've always felt Battlefield was a little more floaty in gunplay. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But like, I hope Call of Duty doesn't lose that. I really hope they keep the crazy playlists and the team deathmatch and the domination.
I think they have to.
They have to. Yeah, they have to. I think there's no way they'd get rid of it. But I really want to see more.
You know what Call of Duty needs to start doing? You know what Activision needs to start doing?
What do they need to start doing?
They need to start making that shit third person.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
No.
You know why? Because there isn't that many third-person military shooters out there that are actually good.
Well, yeah, but the last one was like, what, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter?
And it was okay.
Like Wildlands was the other
Wildlands one? Was doo-doo, man.
There's the Division. No, the Division's an FPS. But, I mean...
Bro, they need to start doing that again. I'm telling you.
I don't know.
They should have did that with Metal Gear.
Breakpoint's about to come out, Online. And I think that one's going to be... I think it's the first person. I don't even know.
They need to bring back SOCOM. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think almost everyone in this group has a high regard of SOCOM.
SOCOM was so crack.
It's so crack, exactly.
It was so crack.
I think everyone you're gonna hear on this podcast has a high regard of SOCOM.
SOCOM was
just like a warning, right? So yeah, Modern Warfare looks interesting. So those are the things we saw. I mean, it looks interesting. I want to see the traditional playlists get played. I want to see more of the gun options. I still think it's really pivoting towards Counter-Strike. Like people say Rainbow Six Siege, but people are saying Rainbow Six Siege because it's new. That too. People say that because it's new, but I say Counter-Strike because that's what I know. And when I see like the bolt rifle, like that was scout, it was like a scout rifle from Counter-Strike. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be really like doubling down on the competitive aspects of things.
Yeah,
and that's cool. All right,
it's like an M40.
Yeah, it's like a. I really want to see them expand on what they saw.
Yeah,
I really want to see more. So I was interested.
Yeah, I like that.
And we'll talk about what we played. So
what have you been playing lately?
What do we play? So one of the things that I've been playing, I played yesterday, was Dota Underlords. So if anyone's not playing Dota Underlords,
I don't play Dota Underlords.
Then I don't know what to tell you. Probably, if you're listening, if you're not aliens, you're probably playing Teamfight Tactics. Okay, because I know you people and your League of Legends, but Underlords is this crazy like they took the auto chess genre and they put a Valve spin on it where everything's very measured and with a little bit of craziness here and there, and I'm really enjoying it. They recently put out a major gameplay update that basically changed the meta for a couple of things.
You're playing that on mobile, no?
You can play it on mobile, you can play it on your computer.
What have you been playing on?
I'm playing on both. I'm playing on the go. I can stream it. I did that yesterday. I was doing a stream test with Underlords, climbing through lieutenant ranks, and they recently changed the meta to be more do or die, I guess. Because one of the things was that the dominant strat was always to get to 50 gold and start spending from there, and use high value cards so that you can start fishing for 5-star units, the legendary units. But that's no longer really the case, particularly because of some nerfs to the legendary units. Tidehunter's been brought down. Techies has been fixed, so it's a more viable option, but it's also kind of a little harder to get. Enigma's been changed. Some of these units are no longer worth the econ strat for, especially because now one of the things that they didn't include in the patch notes for that gameplay update was that every single loss does 1 more damage. So if you took 9 damage previously, you're going to take 10 damage previously. And that is a massive change to early game losses, because immediately you're going to find yourself down 20, 25 health, and things are going to start getting a little more dire for you once you get into like the 20s, the 30s, right? And of course they massively buff monsters, so that's going to be extremely decisive in what you buy, because right now, if you want to win neutral rounds, you want to buy the troll that turns everyone into a chicken, and that's kind of it. You want to get the chicken troll. Is what we were calling it. Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting. I think it's a positive to see it move towards a faster pace. Because I'll tell you this: when I was playing Underlords for the first time, like the day it came out, these games were going into 50 minutes, and it still kind of does. Mm-hmm. It doesn't as much now, but you're much more likely to finish a game in about 35 minutes, and that's, I think, a positive, especially for a game that's trying to thrive on mobile markets. Because like I'll play that at my computer, but on my phone maybe not.
Attention span and battery life, man.
Yeah, man. So that was the other game. The other game I'm playing right now is Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. We talked about it a little bit last on episode 1.
Yeah, we had a benchmark. Check it out.
We had the benchmark, and I'm still working on getting into the main story quest. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been going back, leveling my characters, leveling my jobs, so that I can play the game with Gunbreaker, because I'm interested in playing the game with the newest content. I'm simply unhappy with, and I'm going to go into the jargon of Final Fantasy XIV players. I'm simply unhappy with the state of Summoner. I'm unhappy with the state of Scholar. The way that the pets have been changed to be manually controlled is just honestly, I think, killed the appeal for me. Not because it's not like a compelling mechanic, but because it doesn't speak to the reason that I would pick those classes. Because I always like minions that can work on their own, that you have more than one presence on the battlefield. But now you just feel like you're spread out between 2 different things. And that's not as compelling as I think Square Enix thinks that it is. But I played a little bit of Gunbreaker through one of my alternate characters. I'm going to be playing it on my main character as a Gunbreaker, and I'm going to stream the whole thing. So that's going to be a thing.
Check them out.
I'm going to let you guys know when I start.
What's your Twitch name?
Shibarizu is still my Twitch name.
There you go.
And I'm going to stream the whole thing. I'm going to be doing the whole main story. I'm sure you guys have seen basically what happens by now, so have I. But we're going to be going through the whole thing on a stream, and we're going to try out the new jobs, Gunbreaker, Dancer, stuff like that. And yeah, I'm really happy. The game has been reviewed as the highest reviewed Final Fantasy 14 game, Final Fantasy game in about a decade.
9, right?
Like a 93 on Metacritic or something like that. The highest reviews Final Fantasy game in a long time. And that makes sense, because it's crazy to me to think that like the only thing before Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 15 was the 13 series, which were not well reviewed and not well received. And I most certainly, I was turned off by Final Fantasy with 13. I didn't like those games. I'm not one to play those games. I didn't think they were interesting. I most certainly didn't like to follow the trilogy of them. I didn't even play Lightning Returns, so that was the third one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to really starting Shadowbringers in the next few days. I'm going to be up there with the story.
Nice, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're into that a lot too. You know,
I really am, especially switching over from World of Warcraft. Just the cinematic presentation of Final Fantasy XIV has been leaps and bounds ahead. When I go back to World of Warcraft to see what's going on, to play 8.2, the latest patch, I see what could be in those characters, in the cinematics and the production quality. I'm like, damn. Why isn't this what MMORPGs look like now? Why can't everything be Final Fantasy? Well, sure, not everything can be Final Fantasy 14, but it's a damn shame that World of Warcraft isn't at this point, right? At that level for the amount of success they've had.
Right.
And I think it signals kind of a change for the dominance of the MMO industry as a whole. Honestly, like the gears of change in the MMO industry are rapidly moving away from Blizzard.
Yes.
And that's going to be telling of the next maybe 10 years.
We'll see what they do next, right? I mean, Diablo 4, I'm sure, is coming out probably within the next year. So
within the next year, 2 years.
So
I don't want to say
that's
too far
that's
away.
their biggest thing their biggest name out there that they can actually push as the bearer of the new era compared to what you're saying.
The new era has to start for them, because I don't see World of Warcraft's next expansion necessarily necessarily setting the world on fire. It doesn't have to, for the record, but I don't necessarily see it going.
Because it's evolving and they're going to be left behind.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard.
And man. so what have you been playing?
I played some of the Combat League, right? The Mortal Kombat Combat League Season 1. And then I played the Gears 5 tech test. Now, I'll talk about that first because it's taking place right now, actually. The 22nd, tomorrow is the last day, right? End at 1 Eastern.
1 Eastern, something like that.
1 p.m. Eastern. So, and then it'll be held again this following weekend, right? Starting this Friday, also starting at 1 Eastern. And, I used to play a lot of Gears, man. I used to play a lot of Gears when I was younger, when I had 360. I played the first 3. Definitely the first one religiously. That was the game I played. I remember playing that when Modern Warfare was around.
Yeah, it's all around.
And I still went back to Gears to play it more, honestly.
And I have passing experiences with Gears over 2 and 3 from back when I was playing Halo 3 with my buddies.
Yeah, even when Halo 3 was out, Gears was the game I was playing. That's what I was playing. Gears, the first one, that game saved the 360 from not having a rough launch. That game sold systems.
Absolutely.
That game did it for Microsoft. So
Microsoft was killing it on the 360 with Gears. It was like a religious following for a game. There was just nothing like that.
Yeah, one of my closest friends, I remember he was working and he just got the paycheck and he's like, "Yo, let's go to EB Games in New York in the mall, Manhattan Mall." We went and we bought the 360 with Gears. And we bought another controller and we were playing.
That was crazy times. Co-op, like online?
Yeah, so then, that game was dope. That game was super dope. So, times passed, right? 2 was 3 was a step forward, but it wasn't 1, right? 4, I bought 4, but I didn't really play too much. Just hadn't had time really to play. The crew that I used to play with online, they don't really play it as much anymore. They don't really play games as much anymore either. So, I saw that Gears 5, right, was having a tech test, right? We saw that during E3. Remember, we did sign up for the Game Pass, right, the Xbox Game Pass. We have a video on the site, detailing how that works, what comes with it and everything. And the tech test, right, was open to subscribers, right? Game Pass subscribers for Xbox and for PC, because we're on PC, Windows 10, right? So, I tried it out. 13.4 gigabytes, right, the size, to download the tech test client. Small, but, first day, trouble, man. I got lucky. I got super lucky to get in and play, because I remember when I first logged in, it said I had a wait time of about, I think, 14 minutes. I played the game real quick, kept crashing, kept getting booted. I have Bitdefender, and it just kept giving me notifications left and right. So I had to turn off the firewall so it wouldn't give me any more notifications, because the game wouldn't progress without it. Every time you would click allow, it'll pop up again. So you can't even play the game because it's just constant. So you have to turn it off for you practically. And I tried to go ahead and make a rule for it, and I just couldn't find the exe file. For whatever reason, it's
just like this crazy thing.
I guess it's all server side, right? So they don't.
I heard this game was a little more traditionally made over some of the other stuff that Microsoft's made. And I heard it was a little more traditionally programmed and stuff, so I don't know. But yeah, these windows, the Microsoft Store is kind of like this crazy, obscure program.
Yeah, it kept popping up and it was driving me nuts, so I had to turn it off, and then, I got to play a match. That's the first match I actually played, and we actually uploaded footage of it online on our site. And after that, I tried to get back in, and then it said the wait time was almost 3 hours to get in. So I was like, I'm not waiting 3 hours.
We're not the only ones. We had people on Twitter telling us the same thing.
Oh, yeah. And then, it was funny because, one moment, actually, it was about 3 hours, and then all of a sudden it dropped to 2 minutes, which was crazy, But it was.
But I think that really speaks to the state of the game.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's just the fact that, a lot of the things weren't working the first few hours of the test. We'll actually play some later, so SHIB can check it out. But it was just really bad. And to tell you the truth, I didn't really enjoy it for some reason. It just felt so much slower. I remember in the first game, wall bouncing was sort of a skill. Now it doesn't even feel like that. It's just the way you can fake that you're going to to hit the wall, and then in mid movement you switch directions. It's just the way it works now. It's like you're floating or something, you know?
Yeah, that's one of the things I saw from a lot of initial gameplay impressions. From what I was looking at from an eye distance, I was like, man, this guy is kind of bouncing around, and it's not really like the most.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of decision making.
Yeah, you know, it's like there's almost no gravity when he does that. You know, he can just do whatever he wants. But it wasn't, as far as I remember, it wasn't like that in the original on the 360. But I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. You know, I felt that, you know, that there could be a chance that, you know, I can, you know, go back to how, you know, it felt to play that game back in, you know, 10, 15 years ago almost, you know what I mean? Not 15, but, you know, we're talking about 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah, a little past 10.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't feel the same, and I didn't really enjoy it, to tell you the truth. I'll still play the tech test, right, because, you know, you get to participate and everything, but I'm not really excited for the release of Gears 5. I've actually felt a bit let down. I'm
hoping that if they do another alpha or another beta or whatever they want to do, the gameplay changes accompany it, because I feel like that's maybe one of the things. That's one of the things that set apart a tech test from like a really good one is when we start seeing gameplay experimentation, right?
Yeah.
Like what doesn't necessarily work? What can we change? You know, just get things out there, especially. And I think that means a lot to the guys at Xbox, to the guys at Microsoft, who
get that feedback.
Yeah, who are definitely trying to, you know, push themselves as feedback. And this is what I was saying, you know, way back. I was like, all right, these guys are gonna definitely bank on PC a lot more. Definitely try to be a little more open about their processes. So it's interesting. It's interesting, and I'm hoping that for the next beta or whatever they do, you know, things look a lot better.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's how it's been with Mortal Kombat, right? I mean, when that came out, a lot of people were upset, and now we're heading into season 2 of the Combat League. What, this Tuesday, right?
Tuesday season of time, new rewards. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Cool. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I found it kind of weird that the season 1 was already over. Not because it can't be, but because like I played 2 days ago. I logged in and it gave me my Combat League reward, and I was like, wait a minute, when did this end? It was so strange. I mean, I would rather there be like a more proper rank set than what they have as the seasons, but hey, you know, whatever.
I thought it was cool. I just felt that they should have just had season 2 ready once season 1 ended.
Yeah, me too. I feel like there should be something a little more consistent, a little more persistent than that. Especially because like the cadence of balance patches isn't necessarily always the fastest. Like there hasn't been a balance patch for MK. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, but they're willing to do these season patches, but there really isn't balance patches. So what is the deal, right? It feels like there should be some iterative approach, but there hasn't been.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll see after EVO, right?
Probably, yeah, because that's coming up, what, August 2nd, right?
August 2nd is EVO, everybody, and this thing is going to be bigger than any EVO before it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Wizard, Markman, they're saying it that it's going to be the biggest EVO ever for the event.
Yes.
And it's really got me interested. I'm definitely going to catch all the games, get my takeaways from it. And
what's the number one game?
What's the number one game? The number one game is Smash Bros. Ultimate. But what is the surprise? There really isn't one, right? I feel like if you invite the biggest, I don't want to say party game because people get mad at me on Twitter, but I want to say if you bring the biggest multiplayer game, the biggest local multiplayer, let's call it that, the biggest local multiplayer game, setting aside whether it's a fighting game, a party game, anything like that, the biggest local multiplayer game in the world, right? On Nintendo's franchises, everyone's gonna show up. I don't care who you are, right? That really speaks to the appeal of Smash Brothers. But looking at these numbers, I just want to list you guys the numbers. We got Street Fighter V coming in at 1,900 entrants, Tekken 7 right behind it at about 1,885. Samurai Showdown is surprisingly above Mortal Kombat.
That's crazy.
In about 17.
But I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised just because of the appeal of the game. I think honestly, a lot of people can play Samurai Showdown without having to go too hard into it.
Well, it's been a long time coming too.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe that has a lot to do with. This is the game that is going to be played primarily by people who are in other pools. Like, these are people who are playing Street Fighter, who are playing Tekken, who are playing Mortal Kombat, and they want to play Samurai Showdown. Because it's going to be such a crazy pool. It's going to be a game that people have time with, but it's not a figured out game. It's not solved by any means. Not in the same way that other fighters are. Not in the same way that other fighting games are.
Yeah.
You got Mortal Kombat with about 1,500 entrants, which sounds about right for a game like that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a little discrepancy in the list. Under Night In-Burst seems to have 1,156, while Dragon Ball FighterZ seems to have 1,191. Now, I want to leave it. I want to say that they have about the same viewers because I don't want to get into that discrepancy, right? Under Night In-Burst being there, personally, really proud to see it there. To see so many people show up, given the chance, right? First year at EVO, and given the chance, they get the same amount of people as Dragon Ball FighterZ, and Dragon Ball FighterZ is in an interesting position because it should be higher.
Yes,
but it's not, and I hope that with EVO, because Markman was saying it, I hope that with EVO, the announcements that come out of it indicate a shift for these games, for the lifespan of these games.
Well, that's what they're going to be doing nowadays with all these fighting games, right? They're going to have these seasons. So I think I wrote about this in one of the articles, right? What they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and just release games with that sort of Street Fighter V blueprint, right?
I really hope not, but I see it happening for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I see it happening for a lot of these
games. Happened for Tekken 7. It's already happening for Tekken 7. The game came out in 2015. Multiple revisions. Game's technically only been out for about 2 years in terms of console. It came out in 2017 for consoles. It's gotten about 3 season passes. But nobody's really upset with the state of Tekken 7 because it's an interesting game.
People love it.
That's just because of the depth of the characters, It's such a deep character that if you're playing the whole roster, like, you're out of your mind. Like, like, it's just not that kind of game. Like,
that's what
it's not the kind of game. It's not a game where you have backups. Like, you have backups, but it's not like Mortal Kombat. It's not like Street Fighter, right? Where you generally have a pool to pick from.
Right.
But usually you're very invested in 1 or 2 characters in Tekken 7, and that's a positive if you ask me. But Dragon Ball FighterZ, I'm really hoping they show Janemba as the last DLC character for this pass. I'm hoping they give us gameplay of this thing of Gogeta and what was it? Movie Broly. That's what it is. Movie Broly and Movie Gogeta. That's what it was.
Right.
I was spacing out there. So, like, I'm hoping they show us the gameplay because we know they're confirmed, but they're not out yet. I'm really hoping that, Harada, the producer of Tekken 7, being in charge of Bandai Namco's projects now, I'm hoping he gives life to this game because I think he might understand the gem that this thing is, right?
Well, if anybody could do it, it's him.
It's absolutely him, right? And Soul Calibur being there is great. Obviously, big support from Bandai Namco. Also being a Bandai Namco title. I don't see any announcements coming for this. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. I want to say something about Cross Tag Battle. 640 entrants, and obviously, people on Twitter say anything that comes out of their mouths, right? But people were saying that it's a very low entrance, but 640 is actually the highest that the lowest entrance has ever been. Think about that for a minute. Of the game with the lowest entrance, this is the highest amount there's ever been. Like, there were about 500 and so people who played Killer Instinct when it showed up for the first year. That was the last place game, but this is a game that's like a year old now. It's the highest low ranking game. It's the highest amount that a low ranking game has ever been.
Right.
And to anyone out
popular.
there, it's popular. It's a super accessible game. It's super fun to play. Like, you would not believe how fun it is to play when you get it in your hands. That it's something that I had to play it to really understand what was going on. And I'm like, oh man, this game is actually pretty fun. And I feel like the next DLC for Cross Tag Battle is coming at EVO. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think Arc System Works is gonna show us Guilty Gear, the next generation, at this EVO. I think Arc System Works is gonna do it. I think this is the year. It's no coincidence that Cross Tag Battle and Under Night and Dragon Ball FighterZ show up for them to not show anything. This is a stellar year, right? And the fact that Guilty Gear Exard is not there, despite so many years of being there, despite being a combo breaker, despite being at Defender North, speaks to the fact that Arc System Works has something they're about to show.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to it.
They're stacking the deck.
They're definitely, they're building expectation because they're a very silent developer. And I think they understand now. The other thing is Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is coming out soon from them. But I think they really have something big for their original properties coming out really soon. Under Night In-Birth is supposed to be getting a Switch port. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an announcement for at the end of the Under Night Finals, because the trademark is in place. So it's been reported as a trademark. I put it up on the site for PS4, for PC, and Switch, and that would be the perfect thing for them. They really need to move forward on it because it's kind of the indie fighting game that set the world on fire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it went big despite having no reason to.
Right. It's ready to make its lasting impact right now.
It's ready to really be big. Because it's been there with a community, and that community got it to EVO. But Under Night Inverse is about to go really big, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing more. And EVO is probably going to be the craziest this year in terms of announcements. Capcom has to do something. I feel like everybody knows that. Everybody has to be. I feel like everyone has their opinion on what Capcom's going to do. It's Marvel 4. It's Street Fighter 6. It's the next season of Street Fighter 5.
No, they need Street Fighter 6.
They need Street Fighter 6. But anyone's guess, right? So I mean, something's going to happen, I think. But no matter what happens, I still have my eyes on these other players. I still have my eyes on NetherRealm. I still have my eyes on Arc System Works.
Well, NetherRealm,
Bandai.
You might see some Combat League stuff for season 2
I think
there.
Sindel and Nightwolf are going to get
Sindel and Nightwolf.
Like, they've been teasing it for a while now. There's no balance patch coming up, because of course not, right?
Yeah, it's too soon.
It's too soon, because going up into EVO. So as soon as EVO goes
and they
out,
get feedback too, you know?
Yeah, as soon as EVO's done, wraps up, I think we're going to see the Combat League with Nightwolf and Sindel. I wouldn't be surprised if they do all three at once. Like, all three of those things at once. It adds up with, I think, the amount of teasing that Ed Boon does on Twitter. The amount of I guess stuff he does on Twitter. Like, it just kind of adds up.
Yeah, I think that's a definite possibility, you know. And then you said, I mean, EVO. Yeah, man, you know, Namco Bandai, right?
Ben and Namco are gonna be definitely giving us more Dragon Ball, more Tekken. There's definitely gonna be a Tekken announcement. So the other question is, what's the last game at EVO this year? It's probably not Smash. It's probably not Street Fighter. Because if you ask this question, it means it's definitely not Street Fighter. Because it's never ever been not Street Fighter. Well, it has been, but it's not relevant enough to the discussion. It was Marvel when it wasn't Street Fighter, so it was always Capcom. So if it's not Capcom, then you know who's it gonna be, right? And everyone says Tekken 7. People were saying at an objective point of view that Smash has the most players. No, MK's on Saturday.
Okay.
MK's a Saturday game. We know the day schedule, but we don't know in what order.
Okay.
So we don't know the.
Do you know the schedule?
We know that Dragon Ball, MK, and something else is going to be. Soul Calibur, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be on Saturday, and Under Night. So, between Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, Blaze Blue is actually on Sunday, but I think that's because it's going to be a short bracket. That's probably what it is. So everything points to Tekken 7 because
it's already caught up to Street
if
Fighter.
Mr. Wizard cares about the sense of community that these tournaments bring, it's Tekken 7. What is it going to be? You know?
Right.
What else can it be? Could it be Smash Bros? I don't think so. Not because Smash Bros doesn't bring in the numbers, but because there's no question, you know, what the Smash community is. There's no question. Everybody knows. Everybody plays. Everybody has their circle. Everybody has their scene. Everybody knows. Everybody sees these people. You know, some of the biggest content creators in the fighting game industry in the world are playing Smash. I just don't see it happening.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, maybe, but that's
it's
me
not
speaking
traditional,
like,
probably.
That's me speaking in a moral level. That's me speaking to morals. Maybe they just want to do the business. You know, maybe they do want these 3,400 people to show up on Sunday and you know, spend mad cash, right?
Yeah, last day, take advantage of everything,
and just blow out the house with Smash Brothers. Honestly, it would be a little weird. It would be a little weird if they did that. Because I don't think Smash... Because if there's one thing Nintendo wouldn't do, it's announce something. They would not go up on stage. They would not bring Sakurai out, and they would not announce the next DLC character. They wouldn't do it, because they wouldn't announce the launch date or anything like that. Because that's not Nintendo. So if they're gonna, you know, like, be the face of it, they have to show face. They have to have people on the stage. They have to...
That'll probably be Street Fighter just for the Capcom announcements.
Oh, man. If it were based on if they say Capcom, if they do it and it's like, nah, you know, we're trolling you guys, it's Street Fighter 5, it's going to be...
Announcement.
It's going to be like, oh my god, what are they about to do? Yeah. Because like, they could drop a trailer, because even if it's like an extra character, they could just drop a trailer, you know? That's what they did for Kage at the end of EVO last year, right? They just dropped the trailer and he was out, and that's it, right? So they don't need to be the last game to do that. But if they are, think about what would be on that stage? What could possibly justify that?
Right, exactly.
Right?
It's like rental space.
What could possibly justify being the last game at EVO this year? And it's not a Street Fighter character. It's not a Street Fighter 5 character. It's not even a Street Fighter 5 pass, honestly. It's not even like a season. Not even a season. It would have to be a new game.
Yeah, it has to be a new Street Fighter.
It has to be a new Street Fighter.
Whether they for somehow, some way, they come up with a new alpha game.
That would be crazy. I just feel like Street Fighter Alpha was a thing of its time.
Oh man!
Technically, every Street Fighter now is Street Fighter Alpha, not because not because like they're called Alpha, but because they moved into the 3D era already, and they already use all those mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah, something they got to do something, something different.
Something different. That's what I'm hoping for.
Power Stone is getting announced.
Power Stone. I was going to mention it. Power Stone. They should. I don't know. What would I think if Power Stone?
No, that's not good enough.
No, it would be good enough. It would be good enough. Everyone would be down.
I know, but I like Power Stone.
Samurai Showdown can come back.
I like Power Stone.
Then they could do Power Stone.
But I don't think that's something you hold last place for to make that kind of. Nah, I don't think so.
What do you want to do? Like every part of me just wants them to do a new Marvel vs. Capcom.
A new Marvel vs. Capcom would be cool. That would be nice.
But it's just like when do they do it, if ever? I don't know. I feel like that franchise is probably not going to come back for a while.
Imagine if they announce Marvel vs. DC.
You tell me a lot about Marvel vs. DC like it's going to happen. You talk to me about
telling
it.
You, man, them and fucking another one probably working on it.
You tell me like you got Ed Boon in your ear telling you.
I fucking know it, bro. That's my homeboy.
You talk to me about it like you got.
I'm in Ed Boon's dreams,
You got Ono, Street Fighter producer, just like in your ear telling you.
Yo, bro, I'm in his dreams, bro.
I'm telling this guy what to do.
Yeah, man, telling you Marvel vs. DC. Telling you, man. If that shit comes out, oh my god.
It would blow. It would be the end all.
That's the biggest fighting game that could ever come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like right now. Absolutely. Like millions and millions of units, millions upon millions.
It would be the perfect time to do it, especially after all the Justice League stuff, and then Aquaman already came out, and then the fucking Infinity Saga's over. It's the perfect time to do it, honestly. If you really think about it.
I guess.
I think
so. What else
is
going on?
Do it, Warner Brothers. Do it, Disney.
Those are the big things that we have going on.
Yeah, I think that's topics. Pretty much what's going on with God of the Legend right now. Checking out these games. As you know, all that new footage, news, content, when it comes to sneakers, games, sports, just opinion articles on what's really going on. Waiting to see what's going to happen with Neymar, if he's going to stay in PSG in Paris, or he's going to go to Juventus, or if he's going to go to Barca. That's a big shift because, depending on what team he goes, they might be able to go ahead and win the Champions League, this coming season. So it's a matter of seeing where that ends up. NBA, right, of course, just around the corner. Football's about to start. Baseball's already in the second half. So, it's just a matter of seeing, what big news is put out there in the sports world, right? Something that shifts the power shift of a league or anything like that, right? So we're just waiting to see. Of course, Manny Pacquiao just won yesterday. Yep. He beat Keith Thurman. Split decision. There'll probably be a rematch. I don't think there should be. I think Pacquiao should have won unanimously, but it was a split decision. So it probably saves face for a rematch. I think if Thurman would have had more time, if this would have been a 15-round fight instead of a 12-round fight, he probably would have won. He was coming on, but he came on a little too late. But it was an exciting fight. It was good. It was good to see, Manny Pacquiao, 40 years old, still doing it, beating a guy 10 years his junior. So that's cool, So sports is still there. Sports is still doing well. What are you gonna be up to, man?
What am I gonna be up to? So I was gonna say the immediate future, we're gonna be doing tons of streaming. I'm not up on the stream tracker at the time of writing on our site, but I will be as soon as I have everything figured out. And I'm gonna be streaming Underlords, Final Fantasy, maybe League of Legends, just stuff that I play casually. We might do some fighting games. I play a lot of Dragon Ball, so I might do that.
Yeah.
I might do trying out like niche fighting games, Under Night. I'm gonna stream some Nintendo Switch games. I have Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid sitting there. Big shout out to the guys at Battle for the Grid, by the way. They've been sharing us on their Twitter. They're super nice guys.
Word.
We're gonna see. I'm gonna try to stream as many things as possible. just different collection of things. I'm still playing Bloodstained. I played a lot of it. I'm gonna do a review when it's done. I might stream the last like portion of the game, and I have to review it because I've been having a blast.
All right.
I've been having a blast with the game. If you guys want a game out there, maybe don't buy it for the Switch because I'm hearing it has performance issues. Minimal Pain was telling me about it. So buy it for PC if you can, or another console if possible. But it's definitely been an experience. I'm gonna try to stream as much as possible all the stuff I'm playing because I'm definitely up to a lot of stuff right now. And you guys just keep an eye on the site, right?
Yeah, keep it locked to.
Keep an eye on the site because we have the giveaway coming up, and you don't want to miss that.
No, man,
you don't want to miss it.
You don't tell your friends, tell everybody.
Tell
share.
Your friends, yeah.
You know, we don't really know exactly how we're gonna tell you guys what the rules are gonna be, but definitely, you know, follow us on all social media platforms.
It'll be super easy.
That will be required for sure.
It will be definitely like a follower giveaway, and it's not gonna be super crazy, but like when the announcement's out, get in there. It's not gonna cost you anything.
Yeah, you know, you get something for free, you know, and it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. We're gonna be doing a lot of free giveaways,
and definitely keep an eye on our streams because we're definitely gonna be talking to you guys and you know, getting feedback from you guys and really growing the whole group.
Absolutely, you know, being active with you guys. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
I think that's it
for episode 3.
Episode 3.
Everyone,
that
thank really
you
so much.
3 of them now.
Yeah, it's 3. That's 3. Uno, dos, tres.
That's right. We
know?
really are doing 3 of these now.
We're doing it.
We need to do number 4 at some point.
4 will be coming up soon. So until then, this has been ALIANZ and SHIB for the Gotta Be Legend podcast, episode 3. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Till then, peace.